Good morning, 7:30 exactly here in Kuala Lumpur. Behind me is the first thing I wanted to show you, and it's closed, so I'm going to get on walking and explain what this video is. This video is hey, hello, good morning. Oh, you look tired. You okay? Good stuff, good to meet you. This video is going to be very different to the videos we normally create. And what I'm doing is taking you on a walk through Kuala Lumpur early in the morning. Reason why I'm doing this is that whenever we travel, and certainly before we started traveling, it was very difficult to really get a feel for a place. What's it really feel like on the ground? And then when we watch different YouTubers, us included, showing locations, oh, that looks amazing. Where is that in relation to everything else? Without you having to pick up a map and check everything through. So what we're doing is a walk from Chinatown all the way from here to the Petronas Towers, taking in a few of the sights and sounds along the way. And I think you're going to find it quite interesting. How do I expect you to watch this video, and how do I expect this video to perform? Well, first of all, this video is long, a lot longer than the videos we normally create. There we go, made it across the road. So I'm not expecting you really. Oh, by the way, that there building in front of us is the second tallest building in the world, soon to be finished with that long spike on the top which takes it up there. And before I continue my sentence, this road here is Petaling Street. Again, you'll see YouTubers on here at night, and at night there's no cars here. There's all market stalls all the way down, and it's a good place to get anything you need, any knickknacks really, and anything that you want that's maybe a little bit knocked off. Knocked off, is that a Britishism? Anything that isn't legitimate, such as you can get a Rolex watch down here for about $10. Sure, that's not legit. Anyway, so I'm not expecting you to sit down with a cup of coffee and watch this video, because you might find that a bit boring. What I actually see it as is something where you can put it on in the background while you're doing something else. Have a little chat with me. I'll bring you up to speed on some of the things we've been going through and some of the things we will be doing, and some of the funny things about Kuala Lumpur. And if you enjoy this, absolutely critical, you give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, because this is a trial. There's another reason why I'm creating this, but I'll explain that in a moment. But it's totally a trial. If this bombs and basically gets a load of thumbs down and I'm getting negative comments, you won't see any more of these. And I'm not expecting us to make these every week. It's basically when we go to a new interesting location, I'll make a walkabout video. But the walkabout video will be very specific, taking you between 2 points, and I'll show you the map so you can do the same walk for yourself, should you wish. The other reason we're making it is travelling. We've already found, with a number of locations we've been to in the last, just let him go. Tell you what, I'm going to cut this way. Yeah, with all the locations we've been to in the last 2 years of travel, I'll explain what that's all about if you're new to our channel. Everything starts to roll into one a little bit, and you're thinking, oh, that was a cool market they had in, I don't know, Chiang Mai, and turns out that cool market was actually in Kuala Lumpur. So we're making this for our own benefit too, so that we can look back on this in years to come when we're older and greyer, and give us something interesting to watch and go, ah, do you remember that street food stand? So that's why. So it's a little chat, but I want to give you the sights and sounds of Kuala Lumpur. I wish a lot of the time I could also give you the smells of Kuala Lumpur, because it smells absolutely incredible. The food here is really another level. So I'm going to cut to the left here. Right, first funny story of something that happened to us while here is, and it's being here that prompted me. We've had a recommendation of a place to go for coffee here. I was hoping to go there this morning, but it's hot today. It's hot every day, but it's hot today, so I don't really want to stop. I want to make this video and get the whole thing done for you guys before I start totally expiring. Right, this is what's going to happen in these videos. I'm going to go off on tangents. This here, you see there's like a airstream in there. Just behind that is the most amazing place. I think it's called the Rex, and the Rex is over 3 or 4 floors. Is the most interesting bookshop I think I've ever seen, and yeah, bookshops here are really interesting. They're not like bookshops elsewhere. They put a lot of creative work into how they look, but and also in there you've got really cool food places, and at the back a live venue. We actually were in there once as a jazz drummer was warming up for his set that night, which was pretty cool. Right, where was I? Yes, so coffee shop back there. Sarah and I were walking through Kuala Lumpur one evening. I think it was quite late. I think it was about 9 o'clock, and we walked past this bus stop, and there's this ne'er-do-well character sat in there. So obviously you're on your defence when you see someone like this. You're like, what's going on? And he stopped us, pointed at me, said, Neil, pointed at Sarah, and how weird actually to be in somewhere like Kuala Lumpur and to be spotted by someone. Turns out I recognised him. I recognised his name as well. I just needed him to give me his initial of his first name, and I got it. It's a guy called Ryan. Ryan is also travelling the world, and he's doing it on Facebook. He's pretty intrepid actually. So I'm going to put a link to Ryan's Instagram, Facebook on screen here. So we went with Ryan to a local place to grab a drink, and this is one of the reasons. A lot of the time we question ourselves, why do we make a YouTube channel? This is one of the reasons. Meeting someone like Ryan, every viewer we've met of our channel has been really nice, really good people we think they could be friends of ours, and Ryan absolutely no different. So we thought we'd go for a beer with Ryan. A beer soon turned into 3 beers, and we only stopped drinking because it was late. We had stuff to do, so yeah, that was cool. I'm now on probably the least interesting part of this walk. Least interesting because basically it's a main road, but it's only going to be for about 5 minutes, so I'll keep whittering on if that's all right with you. So talking of people that we've met, the more we do this YouTube channel, the more people we meet. And just yesterday we were in a place called Pavilion, a couple of miles from where I am at the moment. We were there because yet another tech failure, and mic system is not working and letting us down, so we went to Pavilion to buy a new mic system. While we were wandering around there, this guy came up to us, said, my god, are you those YouTubers? Yeah, we are. Lovely guy again, really nice chat from Canberra in Australia. If you're watching, really good to meet you. So, as I say, not the most exciting part of the journey, and this is Kuala Lumpur waking up for the day. So you've got all the cars here on their way to work, and I don't really understand Kuala Lumpur too well because city centre's that way and there's never much traffic goes that way. Everyone's coming out of the city at 7:30 in the morning. I don't know, not for me to say. Have I gone on a tangent? Yeah, so it was Ryan who said grab a coffee at that place, is brilliant. Haven't managed to do it, but we're going to be back in Kuala Lumpur for sure. This is a phenomenal city. I'm going to see if I can carefully cross this busy road because we're heading off in that direction. So some of the things that we've liked about Kuala Lumpur specifically, and it's probably the same about just about everywhere else we travel to, the people. The people in Kuala Lumpur are extremely friendly, but also they're extremely, what's the word? What is the word? Not excitable. What is it? Where they're passionate. That's it. Not excitable. What a silly word that would be. They're very passionate about a lot of things. So I'm going to drop a couple of little clips in here to show you what I mean. So while I'm on this boring piece of road, actually, it'd be a perfect place for me to show you these interesting things. So the first one is Sarah and I went to a football match here in Kuala Lumpur. It's quite funny the way it came about, and this is normal for the kind of thing. I'm just in the middle of a road, a bit precarious, could do with a gap in the traffic. It's probably a bit noisy to talk over, but let's see how we get on. Yeah, the way it happened was actually, if you see that bridge back here, that bridge, there was a big advert across there saying something like the big match. And then when I got back to our apartment, checked online at what it was, and it turns out it was Malaysia's version really of the FA Cup that we have in the UK. So without thinking about it, we booked tickets. Super sweet. Got online, managed to get tickets. It was almost sold out, so we had to sit in one of the ends of the teams. We don't know who the teams are, so we picked the one that was available. And after we booked it, I then thought, hang on, there's a few things here we need to consider. First of all, where is this stadium? I hadn't bothered looking. So we looked, and it was in Kuala Lumpur, but a distance outside. Right, how do we get there? Well, there was one MRT, i.e. metro, that would take us there. That was okay, but then we're thinking, how does all this work? You know, we've been to football matches in Europe, US, and obviously UK. Is this going to be any different? Do we need to prepare in any way for this? But we got on the train, we got down there, and as you can see from these scenes, it was like a festival outside the ground. Lovely, really, really lovely to see. And from that, we went in. There were about 80,000 people there, and I'm going to just cut in, hopefully, something here that sounds okay. I'll record it on my phone, so I'm not sure, but basically this was the kind of chanting that was happening, not something I've seen before. That's the first area where we've seen the passion of Kuala Lumpur people. The second bit of passion, I'll show you right at the end of the video because it links to the last place I'm walking to, but that was amazing, so don't miss that please. Even if you're not interested in this, fast forward if you want, but do see that bit, it's good. Right, we're nearly off of this main road. Where Sarah and I live in Kuala Lumpur, not far from here, just over there. Sarah could probably see me from the apartment window if she looked carefully, walking down here. We have a view of a hospital here on the left, Chinese hospital. So we watch the comings and goings there with interesting people. So we're going to come off this main road and things are going to get a bit quieter, so that'll be nice. And tell you, if you don't know who we are, very quickly who we are and whether you should subscribe, because maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't, it's up to you really. But what we don't want is to say, hey, we're amazing, come subscribe to our channel, because we're not amazing, we're just normal people with a slightly unusual dream, and it's not for everyone. So consider not subscribing to our channel, or do if you wish. Who we are, we're obviously a British couple, and we retired early just about 2 years ago. We've made videos about how we went through the process of retiring early, i.e. how you get the money together for such a thing like that. And one of the ways you do it is how we live life now, and that is we sold everything, absolutely everything that we own. We had a nice house, we just remodeled the kitchen, got rid of it all the stuff, and this was during COVID as well, so we couldn't even have a garage sale to sell it all. We you know, we gave a lot away to friends, family, and charity, and we managed to sell some stuff too, which helped with our retirement fund. And that was it. So we're now homeless, although we do have a home, and our home is where our heart is, and at the moment that's Kuala Lumpur. So basically we travel the world slowly, trying to give you an image of what that lifestyle actually feels like, and hopefully with the potential to inspire you, if it's the sort of thing you want to do the same, and maybe demystify some of the issues around travel. And here's a case in point, actually. Where I am at the moment, in my pre-travel days, when I used to vacation, these kind of areas which look a little bit, you know, a little bit shady maybe, and at night walking through here, shadier, I'd have probably given this a wide berth. The more you travel, the more you realise, actually, the world is a kind place, and we're given so many opportunities to fear the world. And you know, there are parts of the world which are suffering a lot at the moment on the basis of people not showing love, people showing hate. But we don't see that here in Kuala Lumpur. Maybe we'll see it in the comments when they see this video. But so that's why we make the channel. The kind of things you see on our channel are we'll show the location we're in, we show cost of living, and kind of day in the life of the type of things that we get up to. And we do tours of our apartments. We bring you in on some of the real challenges, such as at the moment I'm suffering with a bit of a health issue. If you go back 2 videos, you'll see all about that. I'm still suffering with it, and we'll be seeing a doctor in our next location. So this road goes parallel to a road called Jalan Alor Street, which I'll show you in a moment. Jalan Alor is much like Petaling Street that we just came from. At night is extremely vibrant. I think I might have some footage of us being there one evening, so I'll show you what I mean. But we'll get to there in a moment. You'll see in the morning not much happens on somewhere like Jalan-alor. Jalan-alor is a place to get street food. Some amazing street food down there. However, I think it's priced for tourists because we've eaten there and we've eaten in other places, and other places are significantly more cost effective. So turn right here, something interesting to show you. First of all, if you look on the right, some interesting street art. There's a guy there, I think, buying durian, which is crazy. Have you ever tried durian? No, me neither. I'm too scared. It smells disgusting. I'm going to, but I don't need to rush it. But if we walk along here, you can see the street art on the side of the building. Looks beautiful. Look, even the air conditioning unit has been painted, and down to the floor as well. You got petals on the floor. Very attractive. And continuing down, there is more street art. What do you think of this, me being able to talk like this constantly? Tedious? Yeah, thanks for putting that in the comments. Well, I don't want to just walk along and you get bored, do I? I want to talk. In front, really nice street art of squirrels in a tree. And actually, I'm going to talk quietly because there's a guy with a kip here. But if you look, there's a squirrel leaping and a little black cat too. So, continuing down here, more street art. Ladybird on the side of a building. And look at that. Look at the snail and the pipe outlet thing coming out is his head. Clever. Very clever. So, we'll continue along. And remember what you're going to get in this video. At the end, it's the big reveal, the Petronas Towers, which are incredible. They really are incredible inside and out. So I can actually see them just in the distance. But that's going to be about another 20 minutes away. You're right with that. Fast forward if you hate all this. Remember, this is all about the sights and sounds. Guy there sweeping up, probably outside his business. Make it nice and clean for the day. And there's a road to the next road to the right yesterday was stacked full of rubbish. It did not smell marvellous, I'll be honest. Is it still there? No, it's gone. That was not good. So I don't fancy walking up there again. So we're going to walk here. As I turn right, I'm highly likely to be offered a massage. Massage in Kuala Lumpur is much the same as in Thailand. Everyone offers it and the prices are pretty good. I think I'm a bit early. So if we look here, full body massage for 60 minutes, 70 ringgit. Do you think of that? Not bad, is it? 70 ringgit for a full body massage. And even if you gave 100% tip, you'd be quite happy with that, I think. But all of these are massage places, so later on in the day, lots of people outside trying to drag you in for a much needed massage. So, I'm going to cross the road here. Just down to my left in this direction is basically where all the bars are, kind of Western bars. So if you want a bit of a night out, it's a good place to go. They have happy hour offers and things. Although having said that, alcohol in Kuala Lumpur is not cheap. You've not really missed much. I've walked from Jalan-alor further into Bukit Bintang, and this area reminds me a lot really of Piccadilly Circus in London and Times Square in New York. And in fact, if you're here at night, it reminds me of being in a sci-fi movie like Tron or something like that. It's very futuristic, looks absolutely stunning at night. And we're walking down to a mall which is called Pavilion. A little bit of fun for you. In the UK, we call a mall a mall. And actually, we were having conversation with our Patreons. Yes, we have Patreons, so if you're interested, by all means, look into it. That's where the real fun happens. But we were having a chat with our patrons, and we were explaining that we went to a local mall. They literally didn't understand what I meant. So a mall is a mall. Funny thing about us Brits, although we invented this language called English, come out with some funny stuff, don't we? Because in the UK, no one knows it's a mall. If you said to someone in the UK, come on, let's go to the mall, they'd look at you like you're a bit weird, and also look at you saying, why are you trying to talk American? So we think it's weird, but take the word bull, B-A-L-L, mall, M-A-L-L. So why don't we call bull bow? Bit funny that. So I'm going to start trying to force myself to call a mall a mall, because it makes more logical sense. What do you think? Hit me up in the comments, let me know. So we're coming down now to Pavilion. You need to recognise that it is 8 minutes past 8 in the morning. Normally the traffic is crazy, people absolutely everywhere, and if you're here at night, lights everywhere. There's light walls, there's an amazing light wall, looks like it's on, which looks three-dimensional with some of the things they put up there. Let me see if I can show you that. Probably won't be at the best angle. Now, I'd love to show you Pavilion. But being 8 minutes past 8 in the morning, it's shut, which isn't great, is it? But let me show you this 3D wall thing. Look at that. So it goes round the corner, and depending on what they put up there, sometimes it looks like it's actually concave. So it overheated again. So me and the camera have been in Starbucks for a quick break. Don't judge me for choosing Starbucks. The reason I chose Starbucks was because it's got air conditioning, and that's what my camera needed more than anything else. So I'm just walking through the internal part of a place called Pavilion, which is a huge mall right in the centre of the commercial district here in Kuala Lumpur. So all you've missed is me walking around the corner into this outside area. Can't take you inside because it's still 25 to 9 in the morning and the mall is not open. So I want to show you something really cool. Walking along here, and remember we're on our way to Petronas Towers, and it gets hot. I think you're gaining an understanding of that with the amount of times I have to stop because the camera just can't cope with the heat and humidity. But they've got a nice way of overcoming that, and there's a few of these here in Kuala Lumpur, and as I say, a little bit reminiscent of some of the things they have alongside the SkyTrain in Bangkok. But this is basically an indoor walkway that goes from here, and if you take the right route, will take you all the way to the Petronas Towers, and this is air conditioned too. So I'm hopeful I don't suffer with any outage on the camera. Nice, eh? So out there you've got life going on, but we've made it in here, and in fact it's probably not that interesting looking at me walking through a load of tunnels. So I will momentarily cut this and come back once we're out the other end of these tunnels. But you can see it stretches on for some distance. So just making the final bend around. That was all fast. That was probably 5 to 7 minute walk through there. It's probably about half a mile, to be honest. We're coming down the non-working escalator. We're not far now from the Petronas Towers, and what a sight that is to behold. Obviously this is being recorded around the New Year period, so if you're interested in coming to Kuala Lumpur yourself and you want to know what temperatures are like and what the weather's like, as you can see the weather's pleasant. We've been here now for a couple of months And there was a period in kind of late November, early December where it rained incessantly every day. So you need to be aware of that. But now we've had very little rain, sunny skies, and very pleasant. So that's good. Right. Something I like around this area is there is a lot of greenery. If you look, you've got trees everywhere. If you imagine, you're right in the central business district, really, of Kuala Lumpur, and there are trees and greenery. I don't know what that is ahead, but it looks like it's the car park of a hotel, which got all trees coming out the car park floors. Very good, very nice, very attractive. So, as I say, this is the time of year when, New Year, when you start thinking about what next year has in store. For Sarah and I, we've spent literally days in front of a laptop planning for a couple of reasons. One is I'm suffering with that health issue, and this is really the first time I've been out in days, and Sarah doesn't really like letting me out on my own when I feel dizzy a lot of the time. Fair enough. And while sat in planning, what we're planning is what our travels will look like in 2023. And there's a few things that we've learned that you may be able to gain something from. In this travelling community, it seems that there is Southeast Asia forming part of the annual travel routine. Good thing about Southeast Asia is it's kind of chilled lifestyle. It's very, very futuristic. That's the best way of putting it. You know, anything you've got in your home country, you'll find in Southeast Asia, and probably just a little bit more impressive than you've got in your home country. Seriously. I always used to think, wow, UK's amazing because of X. Now, everyone's got it, but other places just got it a bit better. So, yeah, that's why it's liked. The other thing that you can't get away from, cost of living. Cost of living in Southeast Asia is very, very attractive. So, we've got a challenge though, and that is the heat and the humidity can be, I nearly said oppressive. I have data that says, and I'll put something on screen here, that says oppressive isn't the word. The word is miserable. Miserable most of the time. I get miserable because basically my cameras keep failing because they can't cope with the heat and the humidity. And it's that humidity which is tough. So we've taken a decision that we're going to be very, very careful how we travel Southeast Asia in future, learning from our mistakes. So we were in Chiang Mai last year at the height of the rainy season, not clever, and obviously when it was hot and humid. But Chiang Mai now, January into March, pretty good, pretty good. So I would say that for us, January to March may be a period of time when we would actively choose to position ourselves in Southeast Asia. Maybe northern Thailand, Chiang Mai, or Hanoi in Vietnam, Laos, or Nepal, something like that. By the way, amazing hotel here on the left. I think it's called something, I'll put it on screen, I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a roof terrace, a roof bar basically, that you can get up to. You don't have to stay there, and get an amazing view of the Petronas Towers. Right, let's go through here. We're almost at the end, people. We are almost at the end. Relax, we're getting there. Look at that skyline, look at that, high rises everywhere. We're about to come into KLCC Park, which surrounds the towers, and a wonderful thing for them to have installed here. Anyway, so January, February, March, Southeast Asia works for us. probably April to November, not so much. So I think in our future travel style, we will avoid Southeast Asia that time of year. It's our choice. I'm sure many people say in the comments, oh, you're wrong because of X, Y, Z. Just our choice. Remember, we're from the UK. The only kind of humidity or moisture we get is rain. And actually, I never thought I'd say it, but I am kind of missing a bit of cold rain. And we speak to friends back home and they got snow. Oh, that sounds nice. So, looking at our year ahead, we're changing things up a little bit from what we had planned. I'm not going to give anything away yet because generally any plans we make have to change for one reason or another. If you look back our last couple of years, it's been far from plain sailing. So we do have a lot of stuff booked, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens. We'll see, but everything we've got booked is very, and I mean very, different to what we've done before. So if you're looking for any excuse to subscribe to us and you want to see what's so different, that might be it. So here in KLCC Park, if you look down here, you can see a kind of pool or swimming area that they have for kids. Very cool. And then if we just look beyond that, upwards, what is this? This is the Petronas Towers, and what an amazing sight that is. I really hope that comes across on camera, but in real life that does look stupendous. We have a view of this from our apartment, and at night we can see it all lit up, and those balls on the top you can see lit up at night. Just incredible. So I said there's one more thing I want to show you about just how passionate people in Kuala Lumpur are. I'm going to throw that on screen as we end this video. And basically here a couple of weeks ago was the Comic-Con. So that's where people who are into comic characters, this isn't my strength, come along and they can meet characters at kind of a trade event, and people tend to dress up. Now, do they dress up here? You'll see in a minute. Quite out of this world. Wonderful, really. It's wonderful to see. None of it made any sense to us at all. Question for you: is this video of any interest? This is a test. This is a test, people. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, so I know not to create and waste time on content that people just aren't interested in. I just wanted to give you a little walk around where we've been living, in case you were thinking of visiting Kuala Lumpur anytime and you want to see how places fit together. We've walked all the way from Petaling Street, Chinatown, up towards Jalan Alor, into Bukit Bintang, out the other side of Bukit Bintang, down to KLCC, which is where the Petronas Towers are. And I think it's been fun. I've been annoyed with the camera. Just let me know. In the next video, Sarah and I are on the move to somewhere brand new. If you want to see that, come along next week. I'm just going to show you one last view of the lake they've got here at KLCC. I know I'll do this. It's going to run out of battery or something as I get there. I need to think about my tech issues. If I'm going to be doing this, that's why you got to tell me. I'll probably have to change cameras. I've got an idea what I can do, but I'm not going to invest money in it if you lot will think it's rubbish. You know what I mean? So look at this lake. I'm going to jog. I'm going to jog because I think this is going to go ba-da-doom, as it's done about 4 or 5 times. And I want to show you the towers from this lake. How many steps have I walked today? 8,500. We'll just come up to 9 o'clock. But look at this. Look at that. We've got the lake down here and the towers up there. Right, let's show you Comic-Con from Kuala Lumpur. You've been watching To Go Roam. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Actually, if you did make it to the end, let's drop a word into comments so I know that you guys are cool, because most people have gone way before this. The word is comic, C-O-M-I-C. Stick that in the comments. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.